Hello again, YouTubers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm your host, the Board Game Captain.
And I'm Lynn.
And today we're going to be doing a classic game review, and Lynn is here because she introduced me to this game. Why don't you tell them what game it is?
It's called Konane.
And where did you discover Konane?
Watching the reboot of Hawaii Five-0.
So they had a couple characters that were playing it in an episode.
They weren't playing it. They mentioned it.
They talked about playing it.
Yes.
And after Lynn had discovered it, we went online and we found the rules on how to play. We actually found a video that was done by the Konane Players Association on how to play. And immediately I saw from the Konane Players Association that they had at one point made boards that they were selling over the internet but aren't doing it anymore. So I was a little saddened until I realized anybody can try Konane at home as long as you have a chess or checkerboard and go buy some of these lovely little glass beads. You need black and white glass beads. So we use black and clear. Why don't you pick up some of those bags to show the camera there. Now you can get these bags of glass beads, and these are great to use as counters for various games. And in this case, we're using them as pieces for the game. They are being used as the playing pieces, and they're $1 each over at the dollar store with so many pieces. I mean, as you can see here, we have fully filled up the Konane board with the pieces, which you do need to do to play a game of Konane. Mm-hmm. So now, this game is hundreds of years old. Am I correct about that?
Yeah. There's no date, just because of the oral history of the Hawaiian people. They didn't keep written records. So.
But they played this before Europeans made it to Hawaii. So this was, I mean, this game goes back, and the interesting thing about it is, in my opinion, one of the very interesting things about Konane as a classic game is there's not a set board size.
No.
Though you can play it on rectangles or squares. You can play it 8 wide or 10 wide or however wide you want. But one of the more popular board sizes in modern day, a semi-standardized board, if you will, is the 8x8, just like a chess or checkerboard, which is why it's so easy for anyone to try it at home. You just got to pick up some of these glass beads, and of course, just about everybody's got a chess or checkerboard.
It adjusts the difficulty by adjusting the board.
Yes. And changes the mathematics and the strategy of it significantly. Mm-hmm. So without any further ado, unless do you have anything else to add?
Nope.
Without any further ado, we're going to take you to the table and show you how you play a game of Konane. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how it feels. We're going to rate it and review it. And as with all classic game reviews on my channel, we're going to talk about the all-important question: does this game hold up and stand up to today? Okay, so here we can see the game of Konane set up. Now the first thing you do in a game of Konane is one of the players will take 2 of the opposite color pieces from the center 4 squares here, any 2 they choose, and they'll mix them up in their hands, hold them out, and the other player picks one to decide what color each player is. Those pieces then count as captured and are removed from the board. Black player goes first. Now you can only make a move in Konane if you can jump another piece. So let's start this off, and I'll explain as we play how this goes. Why don't you pick 2 pieces to mix up in your hands? Okay, so now Lynn has taken 1 black and 1 white piece, and she's going to mix them up, and I'm going to take this hand. What do we got? I'm the black player, so I'm going to go first. So now I can only make a move if I am jumping one of the white pieces. Now the object of the game is not to capture the most pieces of your opponent, but to be the last player to make a move. If it's your turn and you cannot make a move, you lose. So it doesn't matter how many you capture. However, you can capture multiple pieces in a row if you can do a double jump in a similar way that you do it in checkers, except that in Konane, all the jumps are done orthogonally, not diagonally like they are done in checkers. Now, with a double jump or a triple jump or a quadruple jump, you can just keep going straight in a row, but you cannot change direction. It all has to be in one direction. And basically, that's the whole rule. So now let's run through a few turns, and I'll show you exactly how this works. So I can take this piece here and jump and capture that piece there. Excellent. And then I'm going to there. As you see, the game is very quick moving. You go back and forth, jumping. Oh, Lynn got a double jump there. So now you see, this is how it goes. We go back and forth, we jump pieces. This gets played until someone looks around and says, oops, I can't make any moves. And if you manage to basically, what you have to do is help your opponent to paint themselves into a corner, so to speak, so that they have no moves left. And if it's their turn and they can't make a move, they lose the game of Konane. So now, after showing you now, we will head right on back now to the table, and we're going to review it and rate it, tell you how it feels, and we're going to tell you if this game holds up to today. Okay, so that was a quick tutorial on how you play a game of Konane. We ran through a few turns. Turns are very quick in this game. Mm-hmm. I would say turns in this game are even faster than playing checkers. I mean, this game is only about 15, 20 minutes for each game usually.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick to run through. Now, it's tough to find dedicated Konane boards. We went looking online, and all we could find were some old ones that were released back in the 60s.
Yeah. It was like, they were made as basically tourist souvenirs when you visited Hawaii. I mean, you could still find some for entirely too much money on the internet.
I'll bet you could find new ones in Hawaii, but if you live outside of Hawaii, it's nice to be able to play this game as long as you have a chess or checkerboard like we do. We add these beads to our multi-game set, and now this multi-game set has an extra game that it can play. Now, when it comes down to it, this game has been done a disservice by some people calling it Hawaiian checkers because of the jumping element. Mm-hmm. But I like this game a lot better than checkers. Checkers is very simplistic. This game has a more interesting feel to it because checkers is just about capturing your opponent's pieces, mm-hmm. and there's a whole lot of you can just move around whenever. Whereas this one, it's all about the pieces' relationship to each other on the board. They can only move if they're adjacent to an opponent's piece. Otherwise, they're abandoned and they're lost. And I think that's really cool. I think that's a very cool thing. Now, what are your thoughts on the strategy and the playing of the game?
I think it's really fun. I enjoy playing it. But I've never won it. I'm terrible at it. But
you enjoy it.
But I enjoy losing.
You know what, though? I have to say, and I've said this before, it's a great game when you can say, I never win this game, but I still like it. And that means it's a really good game. And I think for me, the question of does this game hold up to today, even though it is hundreds and hundreds of years old, my answer is a resounding yes. What about you? What do you think?
I think it's a lot more interesting than checkers, like you said.
Yeah.
I can see how you find there's not a lot of information on it, but you can find stuff on the internet that says that the ancient Polynesian Hawaiians used it to teach strategy. And they would have these all-day tournaments where they would just play it over and over again.
The ancient Hawaiians were total gamers, and that is awesome. That I was born in the wrong state. So I think this game is great. I have a lot of fun with it, which is why I give Konane, as a game, my rating for Konane is a 7.5. This is one of the better classic two-player abstract strategy games, in my opinion. I really enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it way better than checkers, which I won't even bother with anymore at this point. So where are you at with this?
I'd give it an 8.
An 8. So 7.5 and 8. We're real close. We're not far off. So if you have a chess or checkerboard lying around your house, and who doesn't? I mean, everybody's got one. And you've got a dollar store near you, go for $2 and get some glass beads in white and black or clear and black and try this game out. we've told you the whole rules. It is very simple to learn, but this really is one it's like a lifetime to master. The more you play it, you start to realize how important certain positions on the board are to save for later moves. You know, it becomes very important to save like edge pieces for later moves, pieces that are next to multiple opponents' pieces, because you know even if they move one away, you'll be able to make a jump with the other one, things like that. And also, you have to be careful not to move away a piece to give your opponent an all-important jump that they wouldn't have been able to get if you didn't move that piece. And the strategy and the tactics, they really, as you play this, they come alive, and this game does become addictive. I've found that. I mean, have we ever played one game of Konane?
What do you mean? There's just one in a row?
Just one.
No, I think we usually play a couple.
Yeah, we usually play about like, I would say on average 3 to 5 in a row. And we just sort of like, we go and we're like, okay, I win, let's play again. And then, and we will just do a few of them. So there you have it. So Lynn and I both recommend Konane to you. And this is a very affordable game to be able to try out. So there you have it. Are you a fan of Konane? Did we get anything wrong? I know there are lots of variations of play on the game, though this is, I believe, the Konane Players Association standardized rules now. Do you have a different variant way of play that you prefer to play? Feel free to put it in the comments down below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns either on this video or on the game Konane, put them in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see us do more like it, please give this video a like, share this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the board game Kaptain. That is Kaptain spelt with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.